Hello, I'm Lyndsey of Modern Calligraphy, and alongside Manuscript Pen Company, this month we're going to be creating some festive bookmarks which are perfect for gifting friends. I have heard in certain countries that on Christmas Eve it is a tradition to give books, so these I really think would be perfect to pop inside them. And you can also personalise the back with names as well. This is suitable for beginners or intermediate, as long as you, can practice this shape over and over again. It's particularly good for beginners because it really helps with pen control. It's just the same movement over and over again, which is based around this oval shape. So let's begin. First thing you're going to need is obviously some good quality paper. Now this is 350 grams, so paper comes in different weights. If you think of tracing paper, that could be anything from 45 grams up to 80, so that's quite thin paper. A good cardstock, it's not going to be too bendy or too flimsy, would be 350 GSM or 350 grams. I've got lots of these, so if you have mistakes, but get a couple of them going. I've already pre-cut them into bookmark shapes. Other things you'll need, this is the white ink from Manuscript Pen Company. I do pop it into a little pot, so it's got a wider rim here, so I don't have problems with getting my nib in. And also I'm very messy when an ink bottle has got quite a tight lid. So I've got this decanted in. You can kind of see the consistency here. It's a little bit thick, so we'll work on that in a minute. Popped it on a little pot there because I'm very messy. I've got a pointed pen nib, straight pen holder, but you can use oblique pen holders as well, but always a pointed pen nib for this. So this one works really well. The zebra, the Leonardt principle as well is a good pen to use. If you need one, a mechanical pencil, or because we're working on a dark surface, a white mechanical pencil works really well just to mock up what you need to do. Obviously, a serviette close by with some water dripped onto it so you can clean your nib. And also a scrap piece of paper that you can use to get rid of any excess ink from your nib. Okay, let's just begin and just check the ink first. Now we get white inks and they can come quite thick, as you can see here. Now you can just drop a couple drops of water in. Oops, not too much. And then I just tend to give it a stir with the end of my pen, very messy. And then you just clean off your napkin. A good way to know if your ink is too thick is when you come to writing and you have your hairlines, so your upstrokes. If you can't create your hairlines, the ink is too thick. So let's just check first of all. Yep, that's working quite nicely. Just on the edge of being a little bit too thick, but I'll take that for now. Perfect. Two things I find when using any white ink or any metallic inks is the ink will dry a lot quicker on your nib than, say, a walnut ink or Indian ink. So I always have a bit of paper to the side or a bit of napkin to the side it's not soaking wet, it's just damp, and I will always just clean the nib, okay, as I go very regularly. When the ink dries on the nib, it really affects ink flow and can get quite frustrating. Another thing is obviously to have a scrap piece of paper, or this is scrap now, I'll be using this. And sometimes if you do this and start doing things straight away, you might find, you've got too much ink on your nib. Sometimes it drags through as well and it just doesn't look very nice. So I always have a scrap bit of paper here. So even when I do this and this, I'll just do a couple of blobs to get rid of those. And they're quite big. If I lift it up, hopefully you can see, they're quite high as well, quite thick. It gets rid of those, and it means you've just got less ink on the nib, and it just makes it really easy to control what's there. Okay, so that's a really, really good tip, especially as a beginner. Okay, So I'm just moving out of the way of the camera. We've got our bookmark. We're going to start from the top all the way down. You can leave a little space here if you want, if you're going to put a hole in it, but I think it looks quite nice without the hole. I'll just show you the example again. So I was thinking about putting a hole here, but I'm not anymore. So you can just, I'm going to add something here later on, maybe some initials. Now I've done a couple of videos of this. This is cartouche shape. So this is the basic shape that we're going to be recreating. You can see here, it's here, and then it's just repeated over and over again. So it can be really, really relaxing. It's really simple, but really super effective. I'll pop this here so you can see as well as I go through it. Okay. Making sure everything is in place, ready for me. Everything is to hand. I'm just going to load the nib. Now, the shape we want is this shape. Okay. Fingers here, and then we start here. We do another one here, and another one on this side. I'm not moving too much. I'm trying to keep it at the moment in the same position. Now you can see here there's a central point and it's coming out. Okay, what I'm not doing is this. So easy to do this, and then do another one next to it, another one next to it like that, another one over here. We're starting at a central point and we're coming this way. We're going from there out, from there out. This is a really bad example, but you can kind of see there. So it's a central point and it's stemming out from that point. Kind of think about it like this. Okay, that really helps me. Other things to look at is the shade. So the thick stroke is called the shade. Okay, I taper my shade, so I release the pressure here. And I also try to mirror that here as well. So I try to mirror where I'm releasing the pressure. I try not to drag a thick line through here to make it as hairline and as thin as I can. Okay, and again here, thin, thick, thin, thin, thick, thin. This is what you're trying to recreate. And now we're going to do a fun little shape. So especially here, it is just really good practice just to get rid of those first blobs of ink. Now here, because I've been talking, the ink has already dried on my nib. I'm just going to dip it back in the pot, hope for the best. Get it going again. There we go. You can just maybe dip it into some water very, very gently to get that ink flowing too. Now I'm just going to do these little shapes. So barely any pressure, pressure, release. Creates that diamond shape. Barely any pressure, pressure, release. And pull through, and then maybe a couple dots there. We can do it here. Okay, we can also do this. So we're moving this around now, so get used to moving these around. Let's just flick. Oops. There. Flick, flick, flick. Like that. And we're just going to do a hairline here. Barely any pressure. And just a couple dots through there. Okay, and now we're going to add a leaf here. So it's coming out like this, okay? Move your paper around. You really have to be mindful and move your paper around. So there we go. Leaf there, maybe pop another one up here, smaller. And then I'm going to pop a little holly leaf here. I'm trying not to touch anything either. There's a gap here too. 2, 3. So points 1, 2, joining that one. Now I'm just going to clean my nib because I can already sense that I'm having problems with the flow. And sometimes I don't bother doing this and I get very frustrated. Reload the nib. Get my scrap paper ready. Already making a mess in the background. You can't see it. Here we go. So I usually have a scrap bit of paper like this. Okay. get it going again. Get it flowing. This helps get the ink flowing too, because if you imagine you put this on here and the ink's not flowing, you're going to make a mistake. Okay, and now all we're doing is repeating the same shape. So start here. You can start up here if you want, but I would like to start here. Around. I'm using mainly finger movement here. I'm not really moving my hand up and down, sliding up and down. Around here. Okay, and then we do the same wherever we can fit it in. Okay. Okay. Oh look, I missed a bit up here. So this is again another little perfect area. So you're looking for areas like here, here, here. Oops, daisy. That are just great for inserting embellishment. So we can do a little one of those. Oops. Put this down. So think about how it's flowing as well, and how much room you've got on each side. Don't want it too crammed in. Maybe just do a weak sheaf coming down. So pressure release. Oops, sorry. Okay. Now we do it again. We've got a lovely, perfect spot right here. So, and you can look at sort of any Spencerian calligraphy, look for Zana, and you can get inspiration from this. Ornamental calligraphy books or ornamental calligraphers. Oops. Now on here, these do not touch this. Okay, there's a gap there for a reason. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe it looks good, but there is always a gap. More leaves coming down. Don't know what I'm doing there. Hang on. There we go. Lovely. Just keep going. Again. So you can sort of breathe as you're doing this as well, and you should start, the more you do it, start feeling very relaxed as you're doing it. Hopefully. You can mute me, just follow along. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. That's the only way I can do holly leaves. I get completely confused otherwise. Now I'm going to add some more water to my ink because it's a little bit on the thick side for me. Here we go. I'm going to clean my nib as well. Give it a bit of a wash. Should be a lot easier now. Here we go. So starting here and finding these points, that makes my life a little bit easier to start from. Also notice there's a little something here that could. Oops, Daisy. Keep hitting the camera. Excuse me. What's making you dizzy? There it is, flowing a lot nicer now. reload the nib. You kind of see I'm not having to reload it all the time. So it's just a repetition of the same patterns. You can search and add your own patterns. You can use things that I've taught previously as well. And I've always taken off any excess ink as I go. Okay, and now we're on to the last one. Now, it's really important to put your fingers in it because this will happen as it's still wet. You can, if you want to, wait for each section to dry before you do the next one. So I'm going to leave it like that. I think I'll let that dry for a second. And just demonstrate with the mechanical pencil, you can mock it up this way. So white mechanical pencil, this is great. And here, just get the shape going. Okay, and then you would get trace over it. I don't push down too hard so it makes it easier to rub out. I would definitely leave it a really long time before you erase what's there, because especially white ink, it will try to come off with it. There you go. So that's how you would do it with a mechanical pencil. Right, so let's get some gold on there. You know, you can leave it like this, or we can just zhuzh it up a little bit as well. With this, now you can dip your pen in, or you can just paint it directly onto your nib, which is what I'm going to do. So you see here, just loading it up. not too much. There we go. Just get it on the scrapbook paper to get it loaded, get it flowing, and then you just find little sections. It doesn't have to be lots of embellishment, it's just following it around with a hairline if you want to. Maybe go on the leaf a little bit, maybe go on the outside of the leaf. Just do a couple of dots at the end of things or in between. A little metallic leaf. Okay, so here you go. Just see metallic on there on the blue card. Really pretty. It just stands out so well. We have two here. You know, it doesn't take very long to do. The more you do, the easier it gets. The more you do, the better pen control you'll get. So when you go back to your scripts, you'll find things will be a bit easier. It's incredibly mindful. It's massively satisfying, and you can give them as a gift and people will love it. It's a fantastic bookmark. So if you have enjoyed this tutorial, it'd be absolutely fantastic if you could subscribe to this channel, like, share, comment, and let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much.